Konstantin Zhevago's holding Ferrexpo is at the edge of the abyss. Rinat Akhmetov plans to acquire Romanian asset of the corporation ARCELORMITTAl. Vladimir Putin threatens by the war of the Donbass during the World Cup in Russia. The main events in the metal market of the past week in the weekly review of Metal News. The program is supported by the Tech Energoprom Group. Business circles close to the billionaire Konstantin Zhevago were persistently looking for money last year. We want to attract a 4-year pre-export syndicated loan of up to $350 million, said in Ferrexpo. In June 2018, the same people said, we intend to reduce the debt by $200 million by the end of 2020. Last spring, Ferrexpo said that in July they will close the deal on syndication loan for $350 million organized by the French BNP Paribas. However, as a result, it was not possible to raise funds for this date. Western banks demanded to pledge Poltava Combine, the largest producer of iron ore pellets in Ukraine. In response, Zhevago demanded an increase in the amount of the loan to $500 million. Zhevago still received the coveted loan in November last year. However, these are completely different conditions for which he expected in the spring. 6 banks led by BNP Paribas limited $195 million. This money was given to Zhevago on rather shameful conditions. Under the loan, Ferrexpo laid almost a quarter of the property of the Poltava MPP. Investor manager Ferrexpo, Rinat Akhmetov, said by the end of 2020, Zhevago's company intends to reduce the debts by $200 million and also to create a safety cushion in the form of free working capital in the amount of $100 million. Experts expressed doubts about the return of the loan for $350 million. After Zhevago's finance and credit bank actually lost $165 million on account of the bursting bank of Zhevago, there was a break in relations with the major minority shareholder of Czech businessman Zdeněk Bakala. Together, they controlled the supply of raw materials to the metallurgical plant US Steel Košice in Slovakia. Today, this opportunity is finally lost. In fact, Rinat Akhmetov actually said this last week, we do not leave the markets of Eastern Europe, but we constantly reduce deliveries to our main consumers, in particular in Germany, South Korea, Austria and Japan, and we practically do not supply products to Slovakia. Over the last quarter, Ferrexpo's stock price fell almost 1.5 times, from 315 cents to 223. The Dniprovsky Metallurgical Combine DMK Kamenskoye Dnipropetrovsk Oblast, managed by Rinat Akhmetov's holding company Metinvest, and the Kamenskoye administration signed a memorandum on cooperation in improving the environmental situation. The corporate website of the company reports that the signatures under the relevant document were signed by Kamenskoye mayor's head Andrei Belousov and general director of PJSC Dniprovsky Met Combine Alexander Podkoritov. The signing of the memorandum on environmental cooperation, the general director of the DMC considers that next stage of fulfillment of social obligations to the city. A number of measures have already been implemented within the city's environmental program to reduce emissions of sinter, blast furnace and converter production. In 2018, it is planned to replace 2 existing waste heat boilers with the modernization of gas cleaning systems in the amount of 233.8 million hryvnias. This will ensure a significant reduction in pollutant emissions with a concentration of up to 50 milligrams per cubic meter. In 2019, it is planned to begin modernization of the gas cleaning equipment of the rotary kilns of the lime production department. It will be spent 85.4 million hryvnias for this modernization. The expected effect is the reduction of pollutant emissions by 800 tons. During the annual direct line of the Russian President Vladimir Putin, answering a question about a possible attack of the Ukrainian armed forces of the NDP and LNR, stated that this will have very serious consequences for the Ukrainian statehood as a whole. Commenting on this statement, experts say about another round of escalation of the political and economic crisis in relations between Ukraine and Russia. The name of the new owner of the metallurgical plant ArcelorMittal Galati may be called this summer, and the deal itself will be closed before the end of 2018, said Bogdan Grecu, General Director of the enterprise. At the same time, the head of the Metropolitan Enterprise admitted that the combine might be interest to investors both from the European Union and from the post-Soviet space, but he refused to announce the names of potential buyers. It is very important that the new owner has the necessary financial, economic and technical tools for the development of the enterprise. His candidature will be approved by the European Commission, which wants the Galati plant to compete with ArcelorMittal products, the General Director said. At the same time, Bogdan Grecu recalled the synergetic effect between the ArcelorMittal Galati and ArcelorMittal Skopje. There is a strong relationship between Galati and Skopje. We work as one production asset. These may represent additional value for potential investors, he stressed. In addition, the top manager said that along with ArcelorMittal Galati will also be sold and other assets, in particular the port terminal Rompotmet and the line for the production of welded pipes. This makes economic sense for the new investor to own the entire production chain, including logistics and pipe production. It will be an attractive package for him, stated Bogdan Grecu. As previously reported, on the 7th of May 2018, ArcelorMittal received permission from the anti-monopoly authorities of the European Commission to purchase the Italian metallurgical plant Ilva, the largest in Europe. In exchange, the world's largest steel company agreed to alienate a number of assets to fulfill antitrust requirements. In particular, 5 metal companies will be sold: ArcelorMittal Piombino, Italy, ArcelorMittal Galati, Romania, ArcelorMittal Skopje, Macedonia, ArcelorMittal Ostrava, Czech Republic, ArcelorMittal Dudelange, Luxembourg, and lines 4 and 5 of hot dip galvanizing in Flemal and production lines in Tilleur. Both assets are located in the city of Liège, Belgium. For the sale period, ArcelorMittal has already replaced the general manager at ArcelorMittal Galati, Romania and ArcelorMittal Skopje, Macedonia. In addition, according to Belgian media, 4 companies have already applied for the purchase of ArcelorMittal rolling mills in the Belgian city of Liège. According to Plot's CBB Daily Briefing, Rinat Akhmetov's mining and metallurgical monopoly Metinvest plans to submit an offer for the purchase of 3 steel-making plants of the ArcelorMittal Steel Corporation in Europe. After a long pause, mainly because of financial issues, the Iranian producer of long products, Esfahan Steel Company, is ready to deliver the first batch of rails to the Iranian railways. The enterprise considers this event as a starting point in terms of self-reliance of the country by rails and builds ambitious plans for the future. The first 40,000 tons of rails are ready for shipment to the Iran. Although ASCO has managed to improve its financial position in recent years, the company still needs additional investment. The key shareholder of ASCO, Social Security Investment Company, is in talks with potential foreign and local investors regarding the sale of its stake. You are watching Metal News Review for the week. Indicative prices for the current positions by the end of the reporting week look like this. You have watched the weekly review of Metal News. Your subscription to the channel and clicking on the bell will allow you to be aware of the main events of the total metal market every week.